Hey, good morning. It's Thursday morning here in Cypress, Texas. The so I read Matthew 25 this morning, and this is where it says Christ just left the temple, and then he says, all the all these buildings, every stone will be, you know, turned over or knocked down, you know, on another, and and going into the temple, there's a process that he just went through. Interesting, right? And if you ever do this process, there'll be a result. Okay, so you're in the outer court, which is the altar of sacrifice, and this is where you bring your sacrifice. Okay, back then they bring an animal based on their level in society. Okay, and the high priest would basically butcher the animal and cook it. Right, and the high priest would eat from the animal, and then you go to he would go to the brazen laver. The high priest would, or the priest would, okay, and he'd clean himself up, put on the right robe, and his breastplate and all this stuff, and he'd look at his reflection in the water, right? Check himself out, and then he'd go into the temple, and he'd go to the table of showbread. Okay, now just go there and eat some bread as he goes in. No, that's representative of. It's representing reading the Word of God. And then he goes to the altar of incense. Okay? And this is where he prays, prepares his mind. Okay? But this is also, everywhere. This is representative of, getting counsel from other priests, and to make sure that what you just read at the table of showbread, you're interpreting right. That's what you did. Okay, right. Then you move on to the altar of incense. This represents direct mentorship from the high priest. Okay, it's like getting directly mentored from a subject matter expert in business. Okay, then he goes through the veil, and there's another brazen laver in there, and he gets to look at that and reflect on himself, literally. And clean himself up, any stray thoughts or whatever. And then he goes to the Ark of the Covenant. This is where there's the manna, okay, that God sent down to sustain the Jews in their exodus from Egypt. What is that? That's more teaching. It's basic teaching, morals. Okay, and then there's the the original tablets, okay, which are the translation to Paleo Hebrew, which changes everything when you do it, look at it that way. And then there's the staff of authority. Then there's the other menorah, okay, which is another lamp, okay, with oil. Oil's teaching, okay, and fire's a higher level of teaching for spirituality. And he's looking back onto the temple, and this is where the high priest is, right? And from this position, with his knowledge, he's guiding all the other priests that run all the other stations, okay, and are evolving to the point where they can get through to the Holy of Holies and direct everybody else in their worship. So that's what Christ just did. And then he's reflecting. This will all fall down. Now, did he see how they're not doing it right? Is that what he's saying? I'm betting that's it. All right. They lost their purpose, okay? They went too literal. All right, have a good day.